Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Park and Recreation Commission meeting on Wednesday, May 25th. I want to welcome everyone. My name is Jim O'Connor. I'm the chair, and I would love everyone to go around and introduce themselves.
Jim Ronay.
Debbie Davis.
Bill Nicoletti.
Steve Besputa.
Deb Satonic.
Dan Lynch.
Thank you. As always, we have some guests, which is always nice. If there is any emergency, please know we have 2 exits. You can use either. With that being said, we will start our usual and with public dialogue. Anyone from the public want to talk? Tom, come on up. Please say your name and your address, and you have 2 minutes.
Hello, Tom Paisano, 523 Fairway Road, Orange, Connecticut. Thank you for having me here today. Representing myself and with my feelings of all the children in town. I run the soccer association and very sensitive to what happened in Texas. And I just know that this board is the place where most of the recreation happens, and you all are sympathetic for the children. And I'm just hoping that our nation, and certainly the town of Orange, stands up and tries to help these children. And the will of the people is finally done in our town. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you next month.
Thank you, Tom. Anyone else that would like to speak?
Hello. I'm Rita Summer. I live at 321 Hollow Road. My house backs up to the soccer fields. I actually have 2 concerns. I'm hoping that this year they decide not to use the cannons for the corn. It's a very tough way to live, and especially where my house is located, because we have no peace. And I'm hoping that something can be done about that, because I'm at my wit's end. My other concern is I'm hearing about all the money that's been being spent for the new playground, which I think is wonderful for these children. The problem is the soccer moms are complaining about their children being exposed to the cannons. You're not going to have a lot of mothers who want to bring their children to that playground unless that ends. And I'm hoping that somebody can help.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we will, that's usually something that's discussed at the selectmen level because of the cannons, but I will look into it and we will have an update. How about that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jim.
Steve?
Yeah, I want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unfortunately, during the last meeting, the sound wasn't working from the recording on OGAT. Some people think that Fred Wolf Park borders Meeting House Lane. It does not. The land that I grow corn silage on is not owned by the town of Orange. It is owned by a private individual. In spite of what some people in Orange Soccer and some other people that wrote letters believe. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Steve. Can we talk about the cannons? Because the cannons, this is the first time I've ever, it's really come up here. I know I've heard it talked about previously at the selectmen meetings, but not in ours.
it's
So,
never been
yeah,
at this level,
so,
yeah.
We don't own cannons.
oh, the town, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
you mean,
we do not use cannons.
we don't, okay.
No. I do not use cannons on Meeting House Lane.
Gotcha, okay. Thank you, Steve. I didn't even know what the use is, so that's where is it coming from?
Well,
I don't know anything
All
of
right.
it.
it's a way to deter birds damage on sweet corn.
Okay,
The state gives out the permits, the town does not give it. Yeah, the state gives out the permits, the town does not.
so it's the state level.
Yes.
Okay.
It's the state level.
Gotcha.
You know, there's some other noise makers and stuff. I mean, you know, birds cause a lot of damage,
Yeah,
you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I learned something new, and we can talk about it more, but obviously, if it's at the state level, it's not
Well,
really.
you have to get a
Apply a
permit.
permit, right? Yeah.
Yeah, from the state of
Perfect.
Connecticut.
Thank you. You're teaching me something new every night, Steve. That's good. Okay, so let's take a look at our approval for minutes. If no other further dialogue, anyone else want to speak in the public? Okay, going once, going twice. Okay, so let's go on. We could have some moments later on if any committee members have anything else. Approval of minutes for April. Can I first get a motion for April?
So moved.
So moved. I need a second. Deb Davis, all in favor? Aye. Any changes, deletions? Jim was not here. It's a pretty straightforward meeting.
Yeah.
Notes were good. Deb, as always, the most valuable member of our team, always.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
no,
Dan.
no. I have some.
There was a correction? Okay, go ahead, please.
Not off the hook.
All right. Walter Hine rents land at Fred Wolf Park. 2.
Page 2, which bullet? Is it under new business, or is it the
First bullet.
first bullet on the top of page 2,
Yeah.
where it starts, Mr. Resputa addressed a portion of the article?
Yeah.
Okay. It says,
No,
it's being leased out to farmers.
no,
And farmers, it was misspelled, actually.
no. Walter Hine rents land from Fred Wolf Park.
Park, okay, gotcha.
I never said there wasn't any land, any town-owned land.
So we got to switch that whole sentence.
Yeah,
So Mr. Resputa indicated that Walter Hines rents the land,
leased
leased the land,
Yeah.
leased the land
at Fred Wolf
at Fred
Park.
Wolf Park. Yeah, let's state that. Is that all right with you, Steve?
Yeah, and Tom didn't disagree with that.
He didn't disagree with it. Yeah,
No.
okay. So let's cross that off.
Correct. Tom knows the land is leased by Mr. Hine.
Gotcha. Yeah. And the commission noted that there are no plans to move soccer games from Mary L. Tracy to Fred Wolf Park. In fact, money has been invested to improve the fields for continued soccer use at Mary L. Tracy.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's-
Okay. So we're all good with that. Anyone else that was here, or even though you weren't here, Jim, you can still comment if anything. I think we're good.
I just have,
Okay,
I mean,
yeah,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question, and I'm not a legal mind.
Yeah.
I'm not a Robert's Rules of Order guy. I don't, I know a little bit. I did go to Boise State.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. This is town-owned property.
I missed the last few meetings, but I've been trying to keep up on this. So if there's a question about the land and who uses the land and who leases the land and who owns the land, and some of the parties in question are members of this committee.
Yeah.
In fairness to those members, and is there a reason why we shouldn't, is it a conflict in any way? Because I don't want, like, you're a member of this committee, but you shouldn't be on the hot seat every time you come in here.
Well, I am.
And also, is that the right thing to do? Is it right to have a person who is involved in that type of a discussion to be in the mid, to.
Very
you
fair.
understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
100%.
To be a decision maker or to have a say in a decision, like I respect your opinion and I want your opinion.
Yeah,
You're an expert. You live here. You've worked here. You know the land better than you know every square inch of that thing.
60-plus
Yeah.
years.
Right.
Yeah.
And your family
Down there.
knows everything about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's not necessarily fair for you to come here and have to have to answer all those questions. That's not really
Oh,
your,
I don't mind.
your grounds and facilities, you're a member of our committee, but to have to be every week.
Every
time we
month,
have a
yeah.
meeting, and it's no offense to the people in the audience either, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do stuff, and I'm not sure if this is the right way to do it. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. If you have to recuse yourself when certain conversations take place, and if it's fair to you to have to be, it's both, my concerns are two-way. Is it fair to you? Is it fair to the situation to have you at the table having to
Well,
answer questions?
you-
That's not really the time or the place, I don't think, but.
No,
But
you're
that's
right.
my humble opinion. I am not
You're
I'm
right,
not
but
a legal person,
You know what?
so.
I can't help that people don't know the boundaries of town property.
So maybe the answer then would be that we should establish those boundaries before we just willy-nilly.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know if tonight is the night to do that. I don't think that it is, and I don't think this is necessarily really the place to do it either, because yes, it's property that we have some say in, but we don't set boundaries for land, and we don't decide who gets to use the land and how much
Oh,
they get to use. That's
yeah.
not really our job.
Absolutely not.
But going forward, if it goes to the Board of Selectmen, then maybe they should establish some guidelines who owns what, who uses what, when they get to use it, and why it gets to be used. I don't think that's up to me to decide. I'm not
Yeah,
comfortable making
well-
that choice.
well, it's-
I don't have the background to do that.
Well, it's public knowledge, the contracts the individuals sign for leased land, farmland in the town of Orange. Anybody could probably go to the.
Second floor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see it, right?
Right.
So
I'm
I-
sure it's public record.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
And I think-
every time we have a meeting, I don't think it's, I don't, I see both sides, but I feel like it's not necessarily fair to you as a member of the committee who
Well-
volunteers to have to answer all those questions. That's something that's
I-
probably beyond
Yeah,
this
I
table.
had, but I had to say that because people have false information.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why I'm thinking maybe
Yeah.
at another meeting, it might be important to have somebody who has the correct information, just lay it out.
Well, we have maps of Fred Wolf Park,
Yeah.
Dan.
So
right?
I think one of the difficult things right now, we don't have a topic of Fred Wolf Park on our agenda. We are as a public entity, we are in we do have a public dialogue section
Right.
of our agenda every month. And any resident of the town of Orange can come up and speak on anything they want for at least 2 minutes. And we had extensive talks because we had Orange Soccer here. We have all of our sports come and do updates. And they all have been peripheral in this Fred Wolf topic that's going on. But the real fact is the Board of Selectmen and the first Selectman specifically arranged a subcommittee for the playground. And that really, the land, the use is all through that, not this committee. We have gotten updates. We have been supported by them, meaning that any information that we've asked. So if we ask specific information, if we want all the border lands, I'm sure that can be handed to this committee. And we've been I think it's sort of organically grown some of the questions. And it's really tough, but we do have a lot of people at the table that have some knowledge. So that's a very difficult decision. We're putting Steve sometimes. Most of the time, Steve is here. The knowledge base helps us get to an end
Oh,
decision.
no question.
But
no
in,
question.
in this
But he's
type of
caught in
thing,
the middle of it.
there's yes. So that's the most difficult thing that
But
I agree.
I'm not, because I don't rent that land for the town.
But you have also knowledge because
But
you've
you
been
know a lot.
you know it because
Yeah.
your family's one of the founding
Yeah.
families.
Yeah.
And you bring that knowledge, and that's always been in the 20 years you and I have been on this committee.
Correct.
We've always used your knowledge and the background of this town to help us guide some of our thinking, some of our research, our thoughts. We always, it's just very valuable.
Yeah, I only bring that up.
Yeah.
listen,
No.
I don't wanna cause a problem, I'm just bringing it up because I feel like.
I agree.
Poor guy gets caught in the
Yeah.
middle, and there's a
No,
lot
I-
of, you
you
could
know what?
look at it from
No,
both
thank you,
angles, but you're
Jim.
stuck with it.
Thank you.
So-
But, you know what? I rent land from the town of Orange on, Tyler City Road for a hayfield
Okay,
only.
that's the only one. Okay, well, and that's,
2 fields on Tyler City in Lambert.
thank you, Steve. Okay, so I think that's something that, Dan, why don't you and I also, this is, we understand this continues to be something every month. And we also want to be supportive of being a voice of everyone, but also of helping to support our town people as well as our members. And that fine line that you're talking about, Jim. So I think we could talk about that. So we already have the approval of minutes. We're good on to the corrections. All in favor of those corrections, please say aye. Aye. Okay. Let's go to questions from previous meeting.
Yeah, I'll go over a couple of things, and then obviously I'll go over the majority of everything in the director's report.
Thank you.
Last month, it was brought up again about the windscreens. I'm looking into that for you, Deb. And we will look to the monies that we talked about where we can get that and pay for it. Okay?
Appreciate it.
You got it. Those courts are great, by the way. Again,
They're
used a
wonderful.
lot. Our tennis program for the spring, the lessons, they went through 5 straight weeks of the program. Not one Wednesday was it canceled due to the weather. Somehow, some way, because everything else on Mondays and Tuesdays that I have has been canceled. But they got through 5 straight weeks. That never happened. So kudos to them. And then they'll be back again in the summer for their summer camps in the morning for 3
Fantastic.
straight weeks. And people are using it. Tennis, pickleball, everybody. So
Huge,
it's great.
Huge.
Yep. And it's a big asset to us. And we talked about the aluminum bleachers. I talked to Steve. Steve said maybe hold off on those for a little bit due to some thievery,
Yeah.
not here, but
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
the state and around the
Yeah.
country. Things are getting taken.
Yeah, we'll
Very
pause on that
easily.
for right now.
Yeah.
And those 3-step bleachers are very light, and you get a big
Wow.
truck in there and they're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hold off on those for a little bit. A couple of the ones that we had problems with at High Plains, we got rid of, and we replaced with a couple other 3-step
Yeah.
levels that we had.
Perfect.
So,
Around the
a
gazebo.
couple of people in the softball league were a little nervous about one of the things, so we got it out of there. So
Yeah.
Good.
that's been taken care of. So in the future, we will order new ones and get those taken care of. So those were the 2 things that were brought up last month. They'll be taken care of, and then I'll go over everything else in my director's report.
Great. Let's go to new business, grounds and facilities. Steve.
All right, there's a problem with OT2. Dan, you wanna talk about it?
Yeah, OT2, there was some need with some clay down there. The Little League came to us for some help because they didn't have the monies. And it was kind of getting close to the season, and, they went and got some clay. It wasn't very good clay, and it was spread out and done, the work was done, and then came to find out we were dealt some pretty bad clay. So we are in the process now of, they've been using High Plains for makeup games and things like that. We've got the field open for them. Chris takes care of that field, the same field we use for softball.
Yep.
For the men's league. So they've been using that as an extra field, as well as Stanky. And on June 1st, Rick Kapp and his crew are coming in, and they're gonna be renting a new machine, and it's gonna sift through all that bad clay. They're gonna go through it, and they're gonna respread it, and it'll be taken care of. It's gonna take about a week.
They're
A
gonna
little over a week or so to
scrape
get it done.
off like 6 inches and rescreen it.
And rescreen it.
Perfect. Perfect.
It's a little miscue on
Yeah.
our end.
It happens when you
No.
have so many volunteers and
Yeah.
in-kind services.
Yeah.
It becomes a very difficult task.
It's a problem,
Yeah.
but it's a problem that's gonna be solved.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a couple weeks.
Luckily, we have a lot of good people that will support each other, and
Yep.
that's fantastic. So that's good news to hear.
But the games didn't have to be canceled.
Perfect.
They were alleviated and taken care of by moving them to another field.
Perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah. All right, and I have some other information for you guys. I was down the soccer fields this month, April 30th at 8:58. There was no cars or no games going on. May 1st at 1:55, there was 35 cars in the lot. I didn't go down the 7th, it rained. Mother's Day, the 8th at 3:44 PM, there was 15 cars. I didn't go down the 14th, but I went the 15th, 12:25, there were 40 cars. Saturday, 10:11 a.m., when, the jamboree was going on, there was 34 cars in the parking lot. 5:11 on Saturday, the 21st, there was one field being played on and 30 cars. Sunday, the 22nd, at 10:33, I counted 140 plus cars parked. There was, they were parked in good lines, nose to nose, and, it's, and 2:36 Sunday, there was 39 cars. And Mr. Calcaterra stated in his letter last week that, we can have, on busy weekends, we can have close to 300 vehicles. So I saw at Sunday, the 22nd, at 10:33, 140 plus cars in the soccer field, and there was room for more soccer parking in the soccer fields. The lot was full in the back for lacrosse. But, he, stated his concern about vehicles. We have more than enough parking. And since then, 100-yard loads of wood chips are going to be removed from the Fred Wolf Park area, so we have more of a parking spot. And, if you were down there, the town evened up the side and they filled in a little roadway with the millings.
Yeah.
To grade it and square it, and
Nice.
there's plans to do a curbing
Oh, really?
a foot tall so cars cannot jump up it. Line the playground to the back, around, and to the new field to the back with curbing. That's going out to bid, right, Dan?
Yep.
Beautiful.
I mentioned,
Awesome.
I brought that up last month, and they
Yeah.
had the.
So,
bid
I mean,
process.
I don't
That'll be
see-
starting soon.
I don't see a concern, of parking like people have.
Okay.
Because,
Great.
and they're building a new parking lot with the kids' playground too.
So we'll have even more addition.
Yeah,
Great.
and I-
And the chipped wood removal has already started.
Yeah.
I think since then.
yeah,
So that's more spots again.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, and I have one other thing.
Yeah.
You guys like my report from Chris last month, so I have some more. So we're talking the schools. The town of Orange maintains the grass, at the schools.
Yep.
Mowing and trimming at the schools. They've been busy this week dressing up the town properties in the center of town for the parade. They decorated the flags and stuff.
The fencing.
Yeah,
Fencing.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
It looks
does.
gorgeous.
So, they mulched the green, the town buildings, the ladies in the garden club
Club
planted,
today, yep.
flowers.
Nice.
No,
Yeah.
it's nice. And so the mowing at Racebrook School, all right. 1 hour and 15 minutes. Marielle Tracy, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Peck, 1.5 hours. Turkey Hill, 1 hour and 45 minutes. For mowing with the Skag mowers and trimming. And the Big Red Toro, 5,900 Peck Place, it takes an hour. Marielle Tracy, 45 minutes. Racebrook School, 1 hour with driving, and Turkey Hill, 2 hours with driving. And, the Skag mowers and the trimmers are a three-man crew, and the Toro, the big Toro, is a one-man crew. And they keep it at the fairgrounds, so, it's not much travel time,
You get to locations
Yeah,
quickly, yeah.
Yeah. So,
No, definitely, it's a day, you spend a day for the schools. Day a week.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
And like in,
High green, the
Yeah,
green.
the green,
Yeah.
yeah.
And High Plains.
well, no, there's a bunch of properties,
Yeah,
That's
that's great information,
Yeah,
Steve.
all right.
I did not
Pro-
know this
and
time.
props to the crew, because
Yeah.
we talk about it all the time. We have 2 full-time guys, Chris and Bob. We have our 3 grounds crew, seasonal guys. That's it.
That's it. We're,
No other guys. Not, we talk about, soccer fields, lacrosse fields, baseball, softball fields. That's, a main part of their job, but they take care of every piece of town ground, every school ground, High Plains, town green, and every other town property.
And
It's
they,
incredible.
they had to
Sure.
fix,
It's a lot of work. Parks
leaks
also.
on the
It's a lot.
fairgrounds this week.
Yeah.
Find and fix.
And dress up the
Yeah.
town for Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And all the bicentennial events that are happening
Oh,
this
yeah.
weekend. I mean, it's,
yeah,
thank you.
No,
'Cause they
it's-
don't get
it's-
enough credit for it.
All right.
They don't.
no.
I know soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball appreciate it. I don't think a lot of people overall understand what they do.
I want to reiterate, one of my biggest concerns that I've had for 20 years is that day a week that we take out of doing the town facilities that the school school doesn't budget for or compensate. In all 3 districts I've worked for, the school districts have always done it themselves.
Sure.
Park and Rec has never done these things. The schools, Amity, the schools take care of their fields. It should be acknowledged on the school board side as well.
Sure.
That's a town dollars. I know it's all town dollars, but that would be an added expense of personnel, time, insurance, all kinds of things. Equipment that they don't have to purchase, that's in-kind services. I just want to make sure, especially since I'd hope that the district would be open, but that we go back to full availability for the buildings this coming year. We can't continue to not operate when other towns have already opened up the schools
For like basketball.
for basketball. Mainly, I'm
What
saying
we gotta go
basketball.
through this year.
Yeah, we can't survive another year. So I just, And we'll talk as we get closer to, and if we have to have a meeting with Vinnie, we can do that. But these are the kind of things that I just don't, I think some people take for granted. That we just do those things, and that's in a small town like that,
That's why I
yeah.
wanted to mention it.
Yeah, and I applaud it too, and we'll talk.
I-
And the school
that's
district's
why-
always been good to us, so
Oh, yeah.
it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so personnel, this will be updated by Dan in his report. I actually saw it in the back. Budget, we look at the budget, we're at the end of the year. Everything looks pretty good. How did the allocation, I know the town budget was approved. Were there any changes or anything adapted in?
For us?
For us, yeah,
No, everything we
Good.
asked for, we got.
good.
And
What-
nothing declined.
What about Ralph's committee? Has there been any movement or statements on that? What's that status?
Good news on that as well. That was part of my notes.
Okay, you could go ahead, sorry.
On the town side, the project with the gym floor has been approved by the capital planning. So down the road, that will be taken care of. I don't know when that's gonna happen. Hopefully, I would assume after the summer, probably after summer camp's over, I would hope.
We all hope,
desperately,
yeah,
yes.
we all hope.
Yes, Deb?
Can I ask one quick question?
Sure.
Are you gonna, not you personally, but put mats up on the wall?
Yes, that is definitely going to happen when that's taken, yes. I
Yeah.
know you've been asking for that for a while. That is going to be taken care of once that floor is done, absolutely.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. And secondly, we were approved for the Sand Pro with the groomer.
Perfect.
Problem with that is, we're not gonna get it till next year, because it's on back order.
Yeah. Supply chain, here we
And
go.
also, the price that they allotted us was from last year.
Yeah.
So it has gone up about $1,000, $1,500. So I have to go to the Board of Selectmen for, so we don't have to go, it's a state bid, so we don't have to go to the 3-bid process because of the price. So I asked for that to be waived, and then we will get the $1,000 out of our budget to cover that.
Perfect.
So that'll be taken care of, but we're not gonna get that equipment till next year.
Perfect.
But at least we have it, it's in the books, and it's gonna be taken care of.
Yeah, move on to the next fight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, director's report. Obviously, all of our spring programs have begun, running well to this point. All summer camp registrations, obviously, we talked about this last month, have begun. Day camp is full, sessions 1 through 4, full. Still at the 5 weeks of traveling teens are full, weeks 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Weeks 1, 3, and 7 are open. I'd say we're probably in the 20s range. We take up to 40 per week. So there is still room in weeks 1, 3, and 7 for those at home. We've already talked about the parks crew. I don't need to go into that. We have a busy week this week, busy weekend, Memorial Day Parade Sunday, bicentennial events on Saturday. May 27th, which is this Friday, the Racebrook School Food Truck Festival is happening Friday. So, I mean, between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's a pretty packed weekend. So, obviously, you can see the work they've done. The town looks great. Everybody's doing a good job. We're very busy. Also includes my office staff, who are wonderful. I praise them every month. They're fantastic. Lynn, Sue, Stephanie, they're great. So again, Chris and Bob on the grounds end, and their seasonal guys, Mike, 2 Mikes, and Kevin are fantastic. So kudos to them as well. There is an aquatics report and a programs report. If anybody has any questions, I'm not gonna go through it. Talking too much tonight. If anybody has any questions on that. We are closed on Monday, obviously, because of Memorial Day. The pool is closed on Sunday and Monday. Sunday for the parade and Monday for the Memorial Day holiday. So everybody knows it all. That's
Thank
it
you,
for me.
Dan. Yeah, great. Commission members, any comments, thoughts, suggestions? I think we have some good thoughts. I have one actually, final thing. We also, Amity High School has restarted their booster club, and they are holding their first event on Sunday, June 5th, from 10 to 2 p.m. It's being held for all of Amity regions, Woodbridge, Orange, and Bethany, and we're trying to get children from the ages 3 to high school to come up. Each sporting team will be doing an activity, saying cornhole, tossing. I know the lacrosse team is doing lacrosse shootout. We have some rebounders. It's really just to get the community out and get everybody active back, and also to show off our wonderful AstroTurf field to the community and the younger kids who don't have a lot of opportunity to see it.
Just take it to the high school.
It's at the high school all day. It'll be used. It's right now. I will tell you, the facility from top to bottom looks better than it's ever looked. Ernie has added those screens along the fence. The speaker system, the field. All the fields look fantastic right now. The bleachers, the new sidewalks. The scoreboard is, with the LCD projector or whatever, the LED projector up there. It's just a great asset to our town, and it's being used fully, and we want to have our younger families get some opportunity. They don't usually get to see it till their children are in high school. So we invite everybody out. Please come up again,
Good idea.
June 5th, 10 to 2, and there'll be some fun activities around and some food and other things. So with that being said, that's all I have. Anyone else? Motion to adjourn. Motion second. There we go. All in favor? Aye. Have a great night, Orange. Enjoy this weekend.
Thank you, everybody. Happy Memorial.